And we're going to send out the link to everybody who recorded the meeting just as soon as it processes on YouTube. So thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Emily Bauman. I am the communications manager at the St. Louis Community Foundation, which is a 501c3 nonprofit operating in the St. Louis area. One of the biggest parts of my job is being the project lead for Give STL Day, which is an online day of giving that benefits over 1,000 nonprofits each year in May. And as part of that Give STL Day cycle and in an effort to help our participants build capacity, we host trainings like these. And if everybody could please just go on mute who is not speaking, I would appreciate it.
Are you going to be playing something too?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna mute you for you. No offense. So today we have about an hour to take a really beginner level Canva walkthrough and discuss how we can use that to create great social media graphics for your organization at absolutely no cost, because Canva Premium is free for nonprofits, and in a way that's really going to help you build brand identity, get your message across, and put that best face forward on social media that we know you want to have. I am a graphic designer by trade. I've had my entire career in nonprofit so far, but I did start out as a graphic designer. So I use all the fancy applications like InDesign and Photoshop. I also use Canva every day for the Community Foundation social media graphics. So this really is a wonderful tool that's going to make your life so much easier if you can embrace it. So I did want to start out with a quick poll. This is optional, of course. If you all could look at that poll that should pop up on your screen to ask you what you are using to make social media graphics now and how comfortable you are with Canva. Now, if you answer, I'm an expert to this, how comfortable are you with Canva question, I'm going to be honest, this is probably not the training for you. We're going to be really operating under the assumption that no one here has used Canva before, and I'm going to be walking through it pretty slowly. But if you're pretty good or you're okay with it, maybe I'll show you a couple things you haven't thought about before, or maybe I can help you look at your social media graphics with a designer's eye. So we'll just give that a few more seconds. I also want to welcome everybody to introduce yourselves in the chat. We've spread this training pretty far and wide in hopes that nonprofits actually from not only the St. Louis region, but the country might attend it. I know a lot of other people who lead giving days, and we were telling them all about this training. So please feel free to introduce yourself, your name, your organization, some contact information, and maybe you can make a new connection to a peer today. All right, we've got 90% participation, so I'm going to go ahead and close this. And I think you'll all be able to see the results. Here we go, share results. So now you can see that. So this is really interesting. About half of you answered that you're already using Canva to make your graphics, which is great. This should be a great overview for you, maybe be able to learn a few new things. And I'm excited to see that 31% of you are not making any social media graphics at all. We will look to change that today. And yes, no one's using Microsoft Paint to try and do this. That is a good thing. All right, so we will go ahead and get right into it. I'm just going to move to sharing my screen, and give me just 1 second. I have to do this on 2 different computers because of the way I'm set up. So let me get organized here. I'm going to share that. And I'm just going to add in to be able to spotlight my mouse. I want to still be able to see all of you, so let me just move a couple things around. Thank you so much for your patience. Great. We are ready to rock. Oh, I'm seeing the chat here. Great. Lots of St. Louis organizations, definitely some familiar names and organizations. Welcome, welcome. Happy to have you. Sorry, I also have to make sure I'm managing the waiting room. I probably should have gotten someone from my team to help me with this meeting, but we'll roll with it. So let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, if you are not yet on Canva and on Canva Premium, this is completely free for nonprofits. So I'm going to go ahead and take this link and drop it in the chat. Definitely take advantage of not just Canva, but Canva Premium. The application process is really easy. You just click apply for Canva nonprofits right here. I'm already in Canva for Print Nonprofit, so it appears a little bit differently for me. But basically, you just click Get Started, choose what kind of organization you are, and then you'll actually search for yourself and you will pop up. So if I searched St. Louis Community Foundation, there we are, yay! And I think it might kick me out if I do this since we're already technically. Oh no, here. All right, so it's just gonna ask you to confirm your details. I'm not gonna do this because we already have Canva Premium, but it really couldn't be easier, essentially just claiming your organization, and you'll have access to all the things that Canva Premium has to offer. But we've already got it. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in. This is Canva. This is the base link, no recent designs, brand new Canva account. So I'm going to walk you through how to get set up, and then we're going to look at making some designs and using some of the features that Canva has to offer. Sorry, I don't know if you can see this menu, but I need to drag it out of the way. There we go. So first things first, whenever you're in Canva for the first time, you've created your Canva Premium account, go in on this left-hand menu and set up your brand kit. So I created a fake nonprofit today called Hope for Animals, and we're going to set up a brand kit so that our logo and our brand colors are consistent across all of our designs. So, sorry. I am just going to click and drag. Wow, I have a lot of windows up. Don't you love it how everything's organized until you're sharing your screen with people? So I'm just going to drag and drop into this logo area my logos for Hope for Animals. So you'll see I have both white and color versions, stacked and horizontal. These are all PNG files, which means they have a transparent background, and you won't see like a white block behind the color logo when you drop it in. So these are my nonprofit's logo. You do the same with yours. Now let's go ahead and establish our brand palette. Let's get a nice navy, just like the logo. We'll add that. Let's add maybe just white, since we do have a white version of our logo, add that. And then maybe let's just pick a fun accent color. I'm gonna go with an orange, maybe that one. So obviously, if you have a brand kit already, you're going to use your brand colors, not arbitrarily pick some from the color picker that I'm using right here. But since this is a fake nonprofit and we're doing this for the first time today, I've just picked some that I think well together. Canva will also allow you to add brand fonts if you want to. Since this is just a demo, I'm not going to mess with this. But again, if you have a brand kit already worked out and you know that your logo is in one of these fonts or you want to upload a particular font, you can do that in here as well. I'm just not going to bother since this is a fake nonprofit and it's a walkthrough. Canva also gives you options to add your own graphics and logos directly into your brand kit. For example, this is a fake animal organization. So if we had an icon that we always used for adoptions, maybe I would go ahead and drag and drop it in here. That's just going to depend on what you already have prepared. However, don't worry if you don't have anything to add here, because Canva has an incredible library of free assets that you'll be able to take advantage of. So we've got our photo or our colors, we've got our logo. That's the basics. We're good to go. So we'll go back to home and we'll get ready to go ahead and set up our very first design. So what I primarily use Canva for is the social media graphics, but you'll see up here under create a design, there are a lot of options. Not only can you create an Instagram post or a Facebook post, Instagram story, they've got templates for logos, presentations, documents. You can also do a custom size. You can make a LinkedIn background. This is really where I think Canva excels, because if any of you have done social media graphics, it's really a pain to keep track of what size they need to be, and Canva's serving it up to you here on a silver platter. So let's just do an Instagram post as our first design. So when you create a new design, you're given truly a blank canvas. So this is the correct size for an Instagram post. I do happen, it's a square, 180 by 1080 by 1080 pixels. And what I like about this is that you can add multiple pages to this same design and keep all of your Instagram posts in one place. And we'll be doing a couple pages of design, so I'll just go back and delete those. The first thing I like to do is name my design to keep track. As you use Canva more and more, you're going to have more and more files. It's always a good idea to keep organized. So it's Hope Animal Rescue. Just spelled animal wrong. Yeah. And we're having a theoretical fundraiser picnic for Hope Animal Rescue. So I'll just call it picnic. Great. And so Canva offers you a lot of different things in this left-hand toolbar here. So we're just going to run through this very briefly. Under design are pre-made templates for you to use. All of these templates are pre-made, included, editable. You can use any part of them. So even if this was the only section of Canva you ever looked in, you could find what you needed. And we'll talk more about templates in a second. This elements menu is things like shapes, picture frames right here that you can drop your own picture into, pre-made graphics, thousands, tens of thousands, millions, anything you could ever want right there in those graphics. Animated stickers, photos, videos. This is your library of resources. Text is just to add text. You want to type something in or use one of their pre-made text treatments. Again, these are all editable and available for you to use. Brand is where we uploaded our brand elements earlier. So they're accessible from this blank canvas that we're in. We can drop things in. Uploads is where your uploads are going to show up. So things that you've added from your files, real pictures of your work, for example. We'll be practicing with uploads in a second. Draw is exactly what it sounds like. If any of you can do more than like this, you're beyond me. Like that's not even a good smiley face. But if you've got a tablet or if you are so artistically inclined, they do have a draw tool. Projects is just your project library. Again, keeping things organized. If you want to create a folder file system or starred projects, you can do that here, however you like to manage your work. Applications are various integrations and tools for Canva. We're not going to really be looking into this today because it is a little bit more advanced. You can see that you can integrate with Enhancer, I guess Melody Muse, maybe something with music. That would be great for you to explore on your own time if you want to get into that extensively. And then starred here, you can star any of Canva's resources, elements, any of that. I've starred these templates because that's actually what we're going to start with today. So I found these two templates under this design section. Actually, since I was doing this yesterday, you can see them right here. And we are just going to start with one of these pre-made templates. So I'm just going to click on this template and it has populated into my Canva artboard. And I can edit absolutely anything I want to on here. As you're hovering over these different elements, the purple box means that it's editable. So it doesn't matter that this is a fundraising event for some fake Lorana Incorporated. I can use this template and change it so that it's a good graphic for the Hope Animal Rescue picnic. So let's play around with this a little bit. First things first, these colors are definitely not our brand colors, but that's not a problem because I can edit everything. So let's click on this green blob right here and let's change it. So I'm clicking up here to change that color green to how about our brand navy? And then same thing over here with these blobs. Now I'm clicking and holding shift to select multiple elements at one time, or I can do them individually. Maybe let's make this one our orange, and let's make this one our orange. Let's get rid of this little side icon. Again, I'm clicking and I'm just deleting. And let's make this button orange as well. So now we're much closer to our brand colors for the Hope Animal Rescues event. We can also delete elements. Click, delete, click, delete. But we want our logo up here, right? So we're going to go back to that brand folder and click. We have our Hope Animals Rescue logo. Now it's on our canvas. Let's resize it by clicking and dragging. Very easy. and just, if I can grab it, and let's just move it right up to the top. So again, I'm clicking and dragging to resize, and I'm just clicking and dragging to move around. Now you might notice that as I'm doing all of this, there's a lot of purple and pink lines appearing on the screen, and sometimes they look kind of wonky, and if you're not used to seeing them, they can be distracting. What these lines are doing is they are helping you align the element that you're moving with other graphics. So right now, the vertical line is showing me that this logo is centered above that fundraising text, and the horizontal line is showing me that the top line of the logo is aligned with, it looks like the top line of maybe the orange blob to the right. So that's what those are flying around. You will definitely get used to those. I don't even notice them anymore unless I'm actually using them. So this looks pretty good. Fundraising event would work, but I think I want to change this to say fundraising picnic. Good for me. I can just click in and edit it. Again, anything with a purple box you can edit, but the box wasn't big enough. So my text dropped down a line. Same thing, just click and drag that text box to make it bigger. Click and drag it to move it around. Fundraising picnic. The date is fine. We won't worry about that. But this text is very generic. We can click in and change that too. So let's just change it to, please join us. Fun picnic to support the animals at our shelter. Sure. So you'll come up with a much more powerful marketing message than that, but it will work for purposes of demonstration. Let's also make sure to change our website. hopeanimalrescues.org. Again, that pre-made text box wasn't big enough. I'm just going to click and drag it, make it a little bigger. And I think I'll also go up here to the top menu and change the alignment of my text to centered. Honestly, this top menu is a lot like Microsoft Word if you're used to being in there. It's got a lot of the same features, underlining, bolding, alignment, bullet points, etc. Let's drag that over. So this is getting closer, but this kid in that box is not a dog or a cat. So what can we do about that? We're going to upload some of our own assets here. So I'm going into uploads on the left-hand side screen, and I'm going to add, if I can find them amongst all of the windows I have open, just a few pictures that I had already saved. And I'm going to drag and drop those in. And as I hover over this, you can see Canva will accept a ton of different file types. Not only can you add PNGs or JPEG files, you can add files straight from Photoshop. You can add all those HEIC image files that our iPhones are now giving us, video files, audio, whatever you want. You're certainly not just limited to images. I'm just going to give those a second to upload. All the cute little dog and kitty pics. And I'm going to click and drag to replace those pictures. So that worked, and the cat looks okay, but this dog is cut off. That's no problem. I'm just going to double click, and I think even maybe dragging him over, I'm probably still not quite going to be able to see it, but not a problem. Ready to go. Oh, here it is. Sorry, it's up at the top here. We can flip that image, and now we can see the cute little dog. So again, I double clicked into there to try and drag this picture around, maybe even make it a little bigger within that little blob text frame. I'm gonna click out. That looks a lot better. Pretty good. Now I'm liking this, but I'm realizing I didn't change this yellow color. That's not part of our brand. Let's make it orange. Same thing here with this vaguely balloon animal looking situation. Let's make it orange. Or maybe we should just delete that. I don't know if we need it. So again, anything that has a purple box around it, you can mess with. So now these look kind of funny, so let's click and drag those down. All the elements of this template can be edited by you to support your needs, including, usually, little graphic elements like this. If I click on this donation box, I can actually change the colors of this actual graphic. So I can change it to my brand blue with just a click. Or white, or blue. I like the blue though. I think that helps it stand out. And in what, 5 minutes? Maybe it'll take a little bit longer than you or for you because you're not as used to working in Canva. This is a branded social media graphic that has a strong call to action, cute photos representative of my organization's work that I could absolutely use and post to my social media accounts and feel good about it. But templates are not always going to work for you. They are an absolutely amazing resource. Again, if I go back into these templates, there's thousands of them. You can search for anything. If I search picnic, I'm going to get so many options. If I searched dinner, maybe you're having a gala. Oh, look, gala dinner, template, exclusive dinner. And again, all of these templates are editable. You can swap the photos and the text out, the colors, you can add and remove elements. And this is a really efficient way for you to create really nice graphics that look professional and get your message across. They're going to be attractive and eye-catching to your social media followers. I really recommend looking at these templates, especially if you are crunched for time. But sometimes you just need a custom graphic. So let's move on to that. I'm just going to add a new page to this document because I want to make another Instagram post for Hope Animal Rescue Picnic. I'll just add another page. There it is. So once again, we are starting with a blank canvas. Let's click in and change this background color to our brand blue. Great. And now I know I'm going to want to put our logo on here, so I'll go into our brand assets and add that in. I'll just stick it in the corner so that we have it. Now maybe I need to make a graphic that's actually recognizing a sponsor for my fundraising picnic. Easy peasy. I can do it completely from scratch, but what's a little bit faster and what's better for brand is if I make it look like this one. So let's copy a couple elements that we like from this graphic over to our new one. I'm going to copy this event name. Again, I'm holding Shift to copy them both at the same time. Copy. Let's go over to this other page, right click, paste. Great. So now we have the brand identity for the fundraising picnic, right? Let's make that a little bit bigger. Again, clicking and dragging. And let's make the Hope for Animals logo a little bit bigger, clicking and dragging. So let's add some text to thank this sponsor. So along the left-hand menu here, clicking text. And then I'm just going to do add a heading. Honestly, unless you have set brand fonts back in the brand kit that we looked at the very beginning, you can edit all of that in here. So I'm just going to click add a heading. Wow, that looks weird. I will say sometimes Canva makes very strange text box shapes, but you can always edit them. Again, I'm just clicking and dragging to move that around. So let's make this say, thank you, sponsors. I don't want it to drop to 2 lines, so I'm going to highlight all this text and make it a little bit smaller. Great. Let's just go ahead and move that down so it's not covering our fundraiser picnic. And then let's drop in our sponsor's logo. So I'm going to go back to that uploads menu. This is where we put our pictures in before. And let's drop in our sponsor logo, the fake Rocky Mountain Clothing Company. So just click, and there it is. And it's gigantic, but that's okay. We can make it smaller. Let's move it down. So this works, right? This is boring. Let's add a few more elements to make this a little bit more visually interesting, and so that Rocky Mountain Clothing Company gets the recognition that they deserve. So let's see what elements Canva already has that are pre-made for us to help us make this more fun. I think that what we really need is some sort of banner behind this thank you sponsors text. So let's just search for banner. And look, we have shapes, graphics, photos, videos, frames, audio, even with banner as the musician name. Canva has more options than you could ever hope to use. I'm going to go into the graphics section because I want something that I can resize and maybe change the color of. Let's see. I feel like this one's cute. So I'm going to click on this And actually that looks really nice already. It's kind of already on our brand colors. Maybe let's see how this one looks too. Click that in. We can change the color of that. I don't know, I kind of like this one more. It's a little bit more organic. So I'm gonna click on here, delete. I'm gonna click into this little banner graphic, and this creamy color isn't really doing things for me. So I can go up here and change the color to orange, change this accent color to white. And just like magic, I have a graphic that now matches my brand. Let's make this bigger, and let's put it behind our sponsor text. Now you may have, depending on what you were clicking on when you added this graphic, when you dropped it in, it could have actually been in front of your text. So it's, it's blocking everything you want it to be behind. That's super easy to fix. You just right click and under layer, you can send it completely to the back or send it backwards or forwards by individual element. So like, for example, if I wanted it to be behind the logo, but in front of this other text or vice versa, you can just play with the layers on your page and the different elements so that things are showing up how you need them to show up. Now I'm just gonna finagle this a little bit because that's who I am. Now that I'm looking at this again, I don't think that this text was bold enough. It's not really standing out on this banner that I added. So let's see, that's already bold. What if we had it match this fundraising picnic font? So let's click on fundraising and copy the style. And this is going to copy the style of that text and we can paste it somewhere else. So let's paste it onto thank you sponsors. So that worked, you can't quite see it because it's orange on orange. So I'm going to change the color and drag it back on. And I really like that. Maybe we should even say t-shirt sponsor. There, that's good. Now everybody knows what Rocky Mountain Clothing Company is doing. I do feel like their logo isn't showing up quite well enough though. So I'm going to go back into the elements menu and I just want to put a white circle behind their logo. So I'm going to go into shapes. People use circles a lot, so it's right at the top. Very convenient. You can see, again, there's a bunch of options here. Click to add a circle. Let's change the color to white. Come on, there you go. And this did drop in front of Rocky Mountain Clothing Company, so I'm going to right click on it. Oops. Layer, send to back. Put it right behind Rocky Mountain Clothing Company. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And I'm going to use those purple guides to help me know that it's centered behind Rocky Mountain's logo. So now we have a nice graphic that matches the event graphic that we created before that's celebrating our sponsor. And you can see how it would be really easy to duplicate a design like this and thank other sponsors. And the way you do that is on this the shish kebab menu here, the 3 dots, just a duplicate. And maybe Rocky Mountain Clothing Company is also sponsoring barbecue dinner sponsor. They love your event. They're sponsoring more than one thing. And if you needed to recognize multiple sponsors in one space, you could absolutely do that. I'm going to hold shift while I select both of these to move them over. I'm going to copy this whole group, actually, paste it in there. And I've just duplicated my sponsor recognition space. Now I did not make a second fake sponsor logo, so just pretend that that's somebody else. But you can see how it would be really easy to create nice graphics to thank your sponsors. Probably as a benefit of their sponsorship, you've offered them some sort of social media attention. Canva is a great way to do it. And another really important thing is that we're maintaining not only the brand identity for Hope Animals by using the logo and our brand colors, we're keeping the different elements of our actual event, like this fundraising picnic header, consistent across everything that we are doing. So let's move on a little bit into the future and let's create a thank you graphic. Our event has happened and we are ready to celebrate our success. I'm just gonna delete this page because we don't really need it. And I'm gonna add another blank page. Now, Canva knows that I set my background color to my new blank page as navy before, so it's doing it again. How convenient. If you didn't want it to do that, I have the background selected right here. See the purple box? Click to blue, and we can change it. But let's leave it at blue. I think that orange is just a little bit much. So again, we want to have a consistent brand identity. So let's copy over these header items to our thank you graphics. So again, I'm just going to click and hold shift to copy all these elements, right click copy. And then when I paste them on my new document, they're pasting in exactly the same place. Great for consistency. Let's take this fun banner as well. Let's copy both those elements, move to our new document and paste. Seems to be a little bit more fun though, don't you think? Let's angle it a little bit. Drag it down some. Again, I'm just using the curved arrow tool to rotate. And let's change the text to say, let's say we wanted to raise $1,000. Great. So again, this works, but wouldn't it be better if we had some actual pictures from our event? So let's go back into elements and let's look for photo frames. So these photo frames that have the stock like landscape image in them here, these are all the ones that will allow you to drop your own picture in to the frame. So let's go for this one. It's got a little texture to it. And let's just move it so it's not overlapping our text. And let's go to our uploads and drop in a picture from our event. So cute. She's a little off center though, so let's double click in just like we did before. I'll make this a little bit bigger. I'll drag it over. Adorable. I feel like this picture needs to stand out a little bit more, so maybe I'll go up into this top menu and add a border style. I think just a thin border. I'm going to change the color from black to white. Helps her stand out. So let's practice adding a little bit more text under the text menu here. Let's see, what should we say? Let's just say thank you, because it's always good to say thank you.
Here's this. Can you send me the Google Sheet draft of those?
Just a reminder to go on mute, please. Let's copy the style again from our
the tutorial about Canva on
okay, sorry, I'm gonna try and find whoever isn't on mute. There you go. Great. Super cute. Now, if you did decide that you wanted to change that picture, you absolutely can. Just dropping in different ones. Easy peasy. That's pretty adorable. But what is ever going to be more eye-catching than a picture of a puppy and a little girl? Probably nothing. So let's leave that one in there. Now I feel like this could still use something a little more maybe. So let's go back into the elements and see if Canva has anything. Maybe let's just search thank you, kind of see what we get. So there's some pre-made graphics and pre-made photos. Actually, I think that's pretty cute. So maybe let's replace our plain text with this. Again, since it's a graphic, we can change the color easily. Let's change it to white. Yeah, that stands out a little bit better. I like it. So one thing that Canva does offer that is a little bit more of an advanced feature is animation. So we're just going to go over this very briefly today, but definitely something that you could explore more on your own time. So I'm going to add some animation to this $1,000 raised text. All the animations are right up here under animate, believe it or not. And honestly, this reminds me of the animation options in PowerPoint. These probably all look pretty familiar to you. You can hover over them and see what they're going to look like. Many different options. Just be conscientious of readability here. Things like this can sometimes get hard to read, and I don't recommend applying an animation to something that is more than like 2 or 3 short words. Like, imagine if you animated an entire paragraph of text and it all came in like that. That would be terrible. But they're cute for emphasis like this, and they can be a little bit more eye-catching. And you do have options to change the intensity and when these animations actually happen. Canva has a lot of support articles on how to use animations that if you're interested in actually applying them to your designs, I would recommend looking into those. So, but yeah, let's go with that. I think that's looking pretty good. In just 30 or so minutes, we've created a promotional graphic for our event that has real pictures of our work. It's got our logo, it's got our brand colors. We've used a template to make that. We started from scratch to make it a sponsorship graphic that we know that can be kind of used and recycled to recognize all of our sponsors. It has that same branding, the same brand colors. And we've combined some of those elements to create a really nice thank you graphic. And again, hope for animals. Their logo is throughout here. The colors are consistent. The fundraising picnic type treatment is consistent. The brand identity on these pieces is really strong, and these are professional, polished looking graphics. So once you're done, you have a couple options as to how you can get these off of Canva and into the world. So to export your design, I'm going to go up here to the share menu, click share. And then you have the option to either download or share on social. So let's talk about download first. Click into there. This is really straightforward. So since this design has animation applied to it, it's defaulting to an MP4 video. This one is also going to default to an MP4 video now, even though it doesn't have animation. Canva knows that one of your designs does. And of course, if you downloaded it as an image file, there wouldn't be any animation. But since this one doesn't have animation, I'm just going to change this to an image file. I prefer using JPEGs because they're best for sharing. Canva even says that right here. Change that. You can change the size you download at, the quality. All of these defaults are based on best practices for social media. You can also choose if you want to export every page or just one of them. Really easy. If you're doing this for a while and you end up with a document that has like 90 pages, totally not me. I totally don't have those. You can actually type in the page number and just do that as well. And then you just click download. And that's going to download directly to your computer, and you can upload it to your social media accounts easily. If you connect your Canva account to your social media accounts, you can actually schedule your posts in advance or publish them immediately to a social media channel. That's under this same share button. Click in, go all the way down and click share on social. And so then Canva is asking, how would you like to publish? So the scheduler allows you to publish posts in advance. So I'm going to click on that one first. Click. And it's giving me a handy calendar. Maybe I want to post this on August 10th, 1:40 p.m. Sure. Now, I don't have any social media accounts connected to this fake account that I created to do this walkthrough for you. But if I did, this would all work. I apologize that I can't show you more clearly. But you can select which account you want to post it to, add a caption, save it as a draft if you're not sure if you want to do it yet. Again, it's not going to work because it's not connected, but you can see it couldn't be any easier just to schedule them to post directly from Canva. You can also share immediately, again, under that same share button, share on social, and just directly click the social media account. Again, mine are not connected, so it's not going to allow me to do that, but it couldn't be any easier. It walks you directly through the process. The foundation just uses a third-party social media scheduler because we're posting a lot. We have a lot of needs. but this built-in Canva scheduler is great if your organization is kind of just trying to build a social media presence. There are also a lot of help articles on Canva's website on how to actually use the publisher, where you publish immediately right here, or the scheduler that gives you the calendar. So if you're interested in using Canva to actually support you with that, I would definitely recommend using some support articles. In my day-to-day, as I said, I'm downloading them to my computer and uploading them in another way. So that is pretty much all I had for you all. Again, there are a wealth of resources, many app integrations here that could be very helpful to you. I did see somebody in the chat mention the QR code generator. Let's see if we can get that to work. QR code. Let's see. Awesome. Okay, so for those of you who aren't familiar with QR codes, this is a graphic that you can scan with your cell phone that will take you directly to a website. Just going to use Google as a fake one. Generate the code. Hello. There it is. Oh, just took a second to show up, so now we have to get rid of that. So you do not need to put QR codes on your social media graphics, but if you were making a print piece, a QR code is definitely a great idea. You could have it go to your website, your event page, maybe directly even to your donate link, but it's not necessary to put them on social media graphics because how are we all engaging with social media? We're mostly on our phones, maybe we're on a computer. You're not going to scan a QR code that's on a computer from your phone, and you can't scan a QR code from your phone if you're looking at it on your phone. So please only use QR codes in print. That is kind of one of my things when I see somebody make a social media post that has a QR code in it. It's not very practical. It doesn't really work. You're much better off just putting your link in with the text that's going with your post. But they're wonderful for print. I think there's definitely been a QR code resurgence. It used to be that you had to have a special app on your phone to be able to scan them, but now any smartphone's camera can scan a QR code and follow the link. Also, if you make this a unique URL by using another third-party application like Bitly, you can track QR codes and when they're scanned to know if people are actually using them. So that was Bitly, B-I-T-L-Y. If you're interested in being able to track URLs to see how people are getting to your website or to your donate page, I would recommend looking into that. We use it here at the foundation, and I find it really handy. So that, like I said, is pretty much the end of my spiel. I did want to leave some time for questions or feedback. If anybody wants me to go back and do something again, I'm more than happy to. You are welcome to come off mute or drop your questions in the chat.
Hi, this is Robert Ashton. I have a question. You obviously designed this as a square, but as you say, the social media are all different. If you've made one design, does this program help in any way to convert from, a square to landscape or to anything else? Or do you have to start, from scratch?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much for asking. Canva actually can help you with this. I find that it's not 100% effective because I'm a graphic designer by background. I prefer to do this manually, but the resize and magic switch feature up here in the top left menu bar will help you with this. And this is a Canva Pro only feature. So if I click on that, I can be like, okay, I want you to resize to an Instagram story. I want it to resize to a Facebook post. Let's do Instagram story because this is going to be drastically different. We will have moved from a square to a very strong vertical rectangle. And let's see what happens here. It's thinking. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to copy it because I don't want to overwrite what we already did here in case anybody needs me to go back. So I'm going to open Canva's magic resize. So it did okay. This is at least a good starting point, right? Definitely some spacing issues here. This is way far down to the bottom of the story. It will actually probably get covered up by that like text box that's at the bottom of an Instagram story. but it is definitely at least a start. I would be able to rearrange these elements. That one did not do so good. Well, we had our QR code floating around. But it's something, right? Like I could easily take this logo, make it bigger. Maybe I'll go into our brand materials and switch this to the horizontal Hope for Animals logo, delete that one. Again, just moving elements around. Move this down a smidge. Make our event logo bigger. Now I'm not gonna finesse the heck out of this because it's just an example. But that would work, right? So we pretty quickly went from a square graphic celebrating our sponsor to one that would work for a social media story. Just don't count on it because it's not going to work perfectly, especially if you have a design that has more elements like this one. We just definitely want to go back in and double check Canva's work, basically, but at least you don't have to start from scratch again. Thank you for asking that. I kind of forgot about Magic Resize because I do usually do them manually, but this is definitely very helpful and can be a huge time saver. Here we go. Lisa's asking, could you show the flip again, please, and tell people about background remover, which was life-changing for her. I love that. I love that it was life-changing for you. That's spectacular. So sure, let's go back into this this square graphic template, and I'm just going to create a totally blank page just to show one specific tool that you can use. So this flip feature has to do with pictures. So let's copy a picture that we already dropped in, copy and paste. And I'm just going to make it bigger so that we can see it really well. So this is so cute. This actually fits in this photo frame really nicely. But maybe we want the girl and dog to face the other way. We just click flip up here in the upper left-hand corner. We can flip, well, we wouldn't want to flip vertically because she's not an anti-gravity, but maybe we can flip horizontal. And then maybe, like, let's say this does feel a little tight. We can double click in and you can see it's kind of faded. It's a little bit opaque. It's got a color wash over it. This is the rest of the picture that we have to click and drag around in this photo frame. So maybe let's zoom it out a smidgen, make them a little smaller in that frame. When you are flipping pictures, just be careful of text. There's no text on here, but like if this girl's shirt had words on it, if you flip the picture, the text is going to be flipped as well. Sometimes it's worth it, honestly. If you have somebody on your team who's savvy enough to be able to go in and actually edit that text out, you can kind of get away with it. Or maybe you'd be able to crop the photo differently so that you can't see the reverse text. But that's another one of my pet peeves is when I see a picture that's clearly been reversed because the words are backwards. Okay, Lisa also asked about background remover. I'm gonna choose, you know what, let's just do it with this picture and see what happens. So everybody is probably familiar with seeing photos that have been cut out of their backgrounds. Canva can kind of do this automatically for you. It works best on photos that have simple backgrounds to begin with, but let's go ahead and try it on this one. So under Edit Image, under the Magic Studio, we'll just click Background Remover. And let's see what it does for us. It's gonna take a second. Oh, it's really taking a second. Oh, wow, that worked really well. So if I went back into this and removed the border, we've just got like a completely transparent image now. So what we could do is, let me show you a way you might want to manipulate this. Let's copy our cute little orange banner. We don't want to paste it into that picture. Let's make this really big and cute. Let's move it all the way behind the girl and her dog. Let's click back in and copy this text and paste it in. And then maybe we want to add a little more text at the bottom here. It says, help dogs like Lucy. Let's use the copy style, apply it to that. I know I'm moving a little fast here, but I want to make sure I can get to everybody's questions. Good stuff, right? Oh, except I forgot the Hope Animal Rescue logo. Let's add that in there too. So how cute is that? I actually think that this really relates to Alexandria's question of how do you keep things interesting and engaging. I do think that that's one of the challenges of working within a brand. This brand is really simple, right? Hope Animals has 2 logos and 3 colors. But I think with elements like these background graphics and getting creative and cutting images out of their background completely, layering different colors, maybe adding in some animation if you have capacity to look into that, can really help with keeping things interesting and working creatively within a brand. And Alexandria, I definitely agree with you that it can be hard to not feel like you're doing the same thing over and over again. I try to think about, you're not necessarily able to literally think outside the square because your Instagram post is going to be a square. But for example, let's just do another run really quick. Let's add a white box here. Let's not make it completely equal, right? So it's not just box over box over box. Let's copy Lucy, put her in there. Let's maybe copy that, put it in there, change the color, right? And again, help dogs like Lucy. And we could even, oops. We could even think about stacking pictures. So let's go into elements. Let's just look for like field. And let's just drop in this random photo of a field. I'm gonna click and drag it so that it is now behind Lucy and her dog. So like granted, this was the quick and dirty version, right? Like the readability on this is not necessarily excellent, but it's another design that is, and I know I did that really quickly, but this meeting was recorded. So you can go back and watch it if you want to. But this is another design that is on brand. It has the same colors, it has the same text treatment for our event. It's even using the same picture, but it's a little bit different way of treating it. It almost kind of has like a Polaroid thing going on to it, which I kind of like. All right, does anybody else have any other questions? Again, you are welcome to come off of mute or drop them in the chat. We are about 5 minutes to the top of the hour, and I want to be respectful of everybody's time. Is anybody not in Missouri or Illinois? I'm just curious. Is there a way to delete part of an image? I might need you to elaborate a little bit more. Because you can crop, certainly. But for example, let's just keep using this picture of Lucy and her dog. You would probably need a more advanced tool, for example, if you like, let's just say you didn't actually want the girl in this picture, you needed the dog. That's not something that Canva is going to be able to do for you. Canva does have some really impressive magic edit and magic eraser tools built in. But I just really find that they're not great, to be completely honest. Let's just let's test one out, see what happens. I don't even know if either of these are going to be good. Let's see what we can get with this kitten image. Click on magic edit. Let's see what it does. Remove kitten. I don't know why you would actually want to do that. So this is not a great example. Let's just see what it gives us. In theory, it will give us a picture of a blanket. It's really thinking about that. Yeah, so that did not work. It looks like it changed the color of the kitten a little bit. Canva is suggesting to us that magic eraser might be a better option, so let's try it. It's interesting. I won't lie to you, I have never done this because I just do it in Photoshop. So we're gonna learn together and get rid of this cute little kitten. Nice. I don't know if y'all can read that, but it says the cleaning crew is working hard, so you're only left with the good stuff. Yeah, so that did not work either. You may be more successful if you're actually trying this with, for example, if you have a picture and there's a piece of trash on the ground that you want to get rid of, it might work well for that. I'm sorry, I don't have more input on it other than the tools here. It's included with Canva Premium, and it could definitely be something you could play around on. I'm going to delete that because that is terrifying. All right, just checking the chat here. I am not seeing any other questions. Just I'll stick around till the top of the hour and happy to answer anything else. You're more than welcome to come off mute. And Joyce, I'm so glad that you enjoyed the training and you got something out of it. I appreciate you saying that. Okay, you are so welcome, everybody. I really appreciate your time spending your lunch hour with me. I will be sending out the recording link to everybody who registered for the meeting, as well as a short survey on the training today. If you'd like to see us do a training like this again on the same or a similar topic, please be sure to fill out the survey so that we know what you liked and you didn't like. And just thank you so much. Have a great day. It's Thursday. I can say have a great weekend too. All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much.